here, we're just going to put all this stuff in our calculator. So if you would put 4 to the 1/2 in your calculator, if you use the exponent button, put that in parentheses, you're going to figure out that you get 2. Okay? All right, if you did the same thing with 8 to the 1/3, you're going to find out that you also get 2. Okay, 16 to the 1/4, you're going to get 2. 32 to the 1/5, you're going to get 2. Okay, now what I'm realizing is that if you go over here and do the same thing, you're going to get 2 for all of these. And I'm not trying to show you that you get 2 every time, but what I am trying to show you is that writing an exponent as a fraction is the same thing as taking that root of it. Okay, so basically the cubed root of x is the same thing as x to the 1/3. So I'd star this up here. This is the important part. The cubed root of x to the 4th is the same thing as x to the 1/4. Now the only thing that's weird about here is that I know this right here is a square root, but they didn't put a 2. That's kind of like an understood. So if you don't have a little number here, you can put a 2 and it's going to become a 1/2. Okay? So right here, it wants us to rewrite this using exponents. I've got 25, the square root of 25, okay? I know that this is a 2 here. If there's not something I can put there, so I can put 25 raised to the 1/2, okay? Which in this case, you can put that in your calculator and it'll simplify it for you and you get 5. All right, number 2, I've got the cubed root of x, okay? What I want you to do, anytime you don't have something with an exponent, remember you can always put a 1 here, okay? And it's going to go inside over outside. That's a really good way to remember that, okay? So the inside is a 1 over the outside is a 3, so it becomes x to the 1/3. All right, same thing on number 3. It's going to be inside over outside. So my inside is 2 over my outside, which is 3. So that'd be x to the 2/3. All right, number 4, okay, I'm going to put this in parentheses just so I know it all stays together. And if there's not an exponent on it, I'm going to put a 1. Okay, so now I know that this is going to be parentheses 6p. To the inside is 1. The outside doesn't have anything. If the outside doesn't have anything, I know I can put 2. So 6p to the 1/2. Make sure you have parentheses on that, because if you don't, it just looks like you're doing it to p, and you got to do it to the whole thing. All right, 5, I'm going to do inside over outside. Well, my inside doesn't have anything, so I can put a 1 over my outside, which is 4. So v to the 1/4. 6, keep going, inside over outside, so x to the 3/4. Same on 7, x to the inside over outside, 4/3. All right, 8 is a little weird. There's not an outside number here. If there's not an outside number, you put a 2 because that's a square root. So that's going to become x to the 3/2. All right, and this one you got to be careful how it's written. This whole thing is to the 4th out here. So I know that this right now is really like a 6x to the 1st, the 3rd root of that. So let's go ahead and rewrite that as parentheses 6x to the 1/3. But now it wants the whole thing to the 4th. Y'all, this is the power rule. And when we do the power rule, you multiply So you can put that in your calculator, 4 times 1/3, and you're going to end up with parentheses 6x to the 4/3. All right, now we're going to do the opposite, okay? Up here, we took the inside and we put it over the outside, okay? Well, same thing here. 1, that is like your numerator is going to be your inside, and your denominator is going to be your outside. So if it's on the top, it stays on the inside, and if it's on the bottom, it goes to the outside. So I'm going to stay on the top, that goes on the inside. The outside is going to be squared. So really, you could just rewrite this as the square root of 7, okay? Your base is always going to go in your roots, so 4 is going to go in my root, okay? Inside's going to, the top's the inside, so to the 4th. 3 is the cube, or is the denominator, so that goes to the outside. Now, the only thing we're going to do here to keep simplifying this is that I can actually figure out what 4 to the 4th is. You're going to put 4 to the 4th in your calculator, and you're going to get the cubed root of 256. Okay? All right, number 12. Inside stays on the, top stays on the inside, so 2 to the 5th. Denominator goes to the outside, okay? And all you're going to do to make sure, before we keep going, is you're going to simplify 2 to the 5th, and you're going to get the cubed root of 32. You're putting 2 to the 5th in your calculator. All right? Number 13, your numerator stays on the inside, so it's going to be 2 to the 1st. Your denominator goes to the outside. So this is like the 6th root of 2. All right, 14, numerator stays on the inside, denominator goes to the outside. Right here we need to simplify 6 to the 3rd, and we're going to get the square root of 216. You could also just write it square root of 216. All right, number 5, okay, numerator stays on the inside, denominator goes to the outside. This is just like the square root of 9, and we can actually take this one step further because I know that the square root of 9 is 3.